My name is Erin Otten, and this is my digital story. Most people who knew me growing up would have assumed that I lived a very normal life. I grew up in the suburbs, I did very well academically, and I had many friends. All my classmates knew my mom because she was the guidance counselor at the school I attended. And a lot of people knew my dad because he attended all my field hockey games, school functions, and anything else I was involved in. But what most people don't know about me, even some of my close friends, is that I'm a child of divorce. When I was 5, my parents got divorced and my biological dad left. Still to this day, I don't speak with him. I don't even know who he is. But when I was 7, my mom remarried a man who adopted me and my brother and raised us to be his kids. I've always called him dad, so most people just assume he is the man that birthed me. It's funny when people say things like, "Oh, your brother looks so much like your dad," or, "Yeah, I can see where you get your athletic abilities from. It's your dad." They're nice compliments, but because of the reality of our situation, they just aren't accurate. But let me go back to the beginning when the divorce happened. Like I said, I was 5 and my brother was 8. After the divorce, my dad essentially disappeared, leaving my mom to be a single parent. Typically, as our textbook indicated to us this semester, children of divorce or children living with a single parent are at high risk for problems such as psychological distress, substance abuse, early initiation of sexual intercourse, and struggle to find achievement in school. I never came across these problems, though. I still think of my childhood fondly, and I was very active and very healthy as a kid. So, what my situation demonstrates is that the family process is just as important, if not more, than family structure. My family structure is the outward characteristics of a family, like whether or not the parents are married. Family process is the quality of relationships among family members. My mom was just a waitress, but after the divorce, she went back to school and was able to get a degree and become a teacher so she could financially support us. Not only did she do this, but she also made sure she was always home around bedtime to tuck us in and read us a story. She would dedicate her free time to having fun with us, and she always showered us with love and respect. Overall, my brother and I were made to feel safe, supported, and loved. Our family process was healthy and secure. Thanks to my mom's dedication to creating quality relationships with her kids, we never came across the typical problems kids of divorce face. Also, extended family members provided support. My grandma, my cousins, my aunts, and my uncles were always around. This is typical of African American families, in which the mother is a single parent, but regardless of race, having extended family provided support furthers healthy development for kids of divorce. Problems surrounding divorce are very real. However, they are not true for everybody, and maybe unjustly those stigmas are expected of divorced children. In our society, divorce has become very common. According to an article entitled Reconsidering Research on Divorce, Family Life Cycle, and the Meaning of Family, nearly 1 out of every 2 marriages in the U.S. end up in divorce, and nearly 40% of children spend a part of their childhood living with a single parent. Yet, normative and patriarchal ideals on marriage and divorce are standard. The article says women who choose to remain single, whether after divorce or by never remarrying, are still regarded with suspicion and disfavor in our society and societies across the world. Which is crazy because statistics show growing numbers of well educated and economically successful women who, just like my mother, are capable of providing good homes that foster healthy development in their kids. My mom did, however, end up remarrying. I consider myself very lucky because the man who married my mother and adopted me 100% became my father. So, another reason I may have never experienced problems associated with divorce is because I had someone step in to play the father role. The University of Massachusetts at Amherst did a study in which they called the situation when a person not biologically related to the child, still referred to as like a mother or like a father, as a parent substitute. In relation to development and future romantic relationships, the study said students who reported having accepting parents or parent substitutes who encouraged their independence were more likely to report feeling secure in their current love relationships. Students who reported growing up in protracted interparental conflict or rejecting overprotective parents were most likely to report jealousy and fears of abandonment in their love relationships. In short, growing up with an accepting parent figure, biological or not, may increase an individual's resilience to possible negative effects of parental divorce. Again, this shows that family process not family structure, is the best indicator for a child's healthy development. In conclusion, my experience with divorce demonstrates the importance of adult figures and how their influence and role in a relationship can defer the typical negative outcomes of divorce. If adults can offer quality and supportive relationships to children going through divorce, regardless if they are the biological parent or not, those children can develop in a healthy, non intrusive way. As teachers, we need to think about this. If any of our students are going through divorce, we as teachers can act as those supporting adult roles. There are many painful things that children of divorce go through, especially if one of the parents abandons the family. I know, I remember. But what helped me when I was going through divorce as a child was that there was a supportive adult in my life. They offered guidance, love, and comfort. Teachers have to be willing to be this person if that child has no other adult in their life. I know my experience shaped me into the person I am now, but it will also help me in the future as a teacher because now I have an inside perspective on divorce that will be useful to other kids who go through it. Knowing what I know, I can help be a supporting role to students and encourage family process rather than family structure.